welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing actually a bit of a flip through. I've been working in a bullet journal lately. It's not to say I haven't been using stickers. There's not so much in here, although there are some stickers. But I've been planning just a little bit different since my days have been very tight. And I need a lot of writing space. So what I've been doing is keeping just my main sticker planning with the weekly kits more towards like scrapbooking and memory keeping, as opposed to this where I can just literally write and scribble on the go. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like. First off, let me tell you what book I'm using. I'm using the let me show you. Scribbles That Matter. I don't know how well you can see that. And this is their Pro book, and this is obviously white. I've been asked a few times how well it keeps clean, and as you can see, it's still very clean. I do wipe it down a little with a little bit of cleaner every once in a while, but there's been absolutely no issues with this, and I love this book so much. The paper is just amazing. Oops. So let me just jump into what I've done so far. Let me show you just the main part here. So this is what the back looks like, and as you can see, there is a pocket right there, and there's a few things I have kept in there. I'll take a couple things out. Some decorations that I've used that you will see in the book, as well as a little bit of few more stickers in here, some date covers, and some foiled bows, which I did myself. I never did end up releasing for the shop though, because the foil just would not stick effectively. So in this book, there's also a pen loop, which I use every once in a while, but not often, just because I tend to forget about the loop. I'm not used to having loops. Oops, I'm sorry if I keep hitting and shaking. That's not on purpose. In this book, what you will often see is a lot of different pens in here. And the reason for that is because just finding out what really works for me and what doesn't, which brings me back to the back, actually. I've got pen tests in here. I've got a few of them written down. I've got Uniball and more Uniball, Siddler, Pigma, and a whole bunch of Pigmas because I got a whole set. Papermate. As you can see, some of them really smudged, as well as some Crayola Super Tips on there. So I'll just bring it now to the front. And you can see I started this on May. Yes, that is really my name. There you go, Scribbles That Matter. And it's got a key, which I didn't actually put in there because I forgot that was there. But it does have an index, although I never really use that. So this is the first page in here. And this is my future log here, but I'll admit, I'm not crazy about this. I'm going to change it up in another book. And I'm going to just start doing little bits of pieces here. But I've got about 6 months, which takes me up to November. And I've got a tab, which I need to put a new one because this is breaking up. And then I've got my May. And this is just something I was trying. I've got a little bit of deco, which I created and will be put in the shop. And it's quite full, and I like the way it turned out, but I don't care for the jagged edges. I was trying that. I definitely prefer with a ruler. And I've got a habit tracker, which I printed off some stickers. I may put something similar in the shop. I haven't decided if I even like them. And you can see I didn't really fill it out too much. I think there was just too much. So right here are my kids' habit tracker. It says habit tracker, but really it's their chore tracker to see how much money they will get and what they've been ignoring. And also like actual habits as well, like brushing their teeth. And what I've done, reason why there's separation is there's 2 weeks here, there's 2 weeks here, and this was the end of 2 weeks from the previous month. Now over here I actually do have my universal key, and I actually kept adding to it, but in the end I don't really use this so much, mostly because I know what needs to be, how I use them. For instance, for an event, I tend to just highlight it in here. You'll see I've changed it a lot since starting this. Even though I used it and went back to it, I ended up changing it quite a bit. Alright, so this is the first week I've come to. As you can see, I've got, it's just the 2-page layout. It's really minimal. I actually really like it. And I've got some stickers here. These are from Planning Choco, the date cover. And I'll have that link below. As well as these ones here are from WilaWalaCo, Cutie, and excuse me. And this is the Gertie. And this is actually from autumn of last year. But I thought they were just really cute and I wanted to add it in. So that's what I did. And then we've got meal plan. And I did this a little bit just to help me stay on track with the SPs. And then we've got some soups that I wanted to try out. And I've tried everything on here so far. This one was the absolute best one. So if you can find this slow cooker cream cheese chicken chili, I think that's the name of it. I just wrote whatever I remember it was. That was absolutely delicious. My husband went crazy for that. And these are some Marvel movies that have come out and we want to watch. This is all of them, I think. I don't know if Far From Home's on here, which is the most recent Spider-Man to come out in the theaters. But these are supposed to be in order of how they're supposedly appear as opposed to the physical date line. And the ones that are colored in are what I've watched up to. We are currently on Guardians of the Galaxy. But the funny thing is, my husband was crazy about this and suddenly he doesn't want to watch it. So he's putting that off. I don't know why. But that's what the popcorn is for, and the little kernels. I'm not really good at doodling, so that's what I've done. And I've also done Captain America just here because that is my absolute favorite Marvel character. I love me some Captain America. Plus Chris Evans. So then the next what we have is Still May. As you can see, it's got a little bit more deco here, and it's pink. And actually, this is a layout I kind of imitated from Amanda Rachley on YouTube, and you can see her there. And I've got the events, and then I've got everything over here. And aside from the stickers, I hate this layout. Like I said, I don't like how sloppy these lines become, and it'll look worse in the week afterwards. I do like the fact that this is straight lines, but I don't like this distracts from here and this distracts from here. And the worst is that this is my birthday week and I hated this layout. I wanted so much just to tape everything together because it just made me so angry to look at it. And I was so close to doing that anyways. And next week was a different layout for, the next paper is a different layout for meal planner and some dinners to try, and I never did fill out the dinners, so that was definitely a fail. And so was this meals for the week as well. It just, I don't know, it just got really, the fact that I was so mad at this made me mad at this. So for this, I actually didn't mind how jagged these lines were, but this really, I hated it with a passion, so you will not see this layout again. All right, and then we've got some layout ideas that I want to add in here, and some of them have done, some of them are weekly, or rather add additional for the month. And then I've got a brain dump, which end up having what I owe per all my finances, so I can write it in a little bit later. You can see there's some more stickers here. And this was actually all from a kit that I made, which will be going in the shop. The beautiful cherry blossoms. And here is another layout I tried from Sheeta Campbell, which she's also on YouTube. I like it because you've got the lines here, but I didn't like that the weekend was cut in half, just because, well, it's beautiful and then it gets lost. And for this one, I didn't mind the jagged edges, but I definitely prefer straight lines. I'm really all about the rulers, so you'll see that a little bit later on more in effect. I got a little bit of notes here, which I still didn't like, but I do have a little bit of more deco here. And this is the letter my daughter wrote for me because she loved me. She loves me and she's having a wonderful day, so she wrote that. So I've just kept it there. This was a definite fail for the meal plan. It's supposed to be breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and I didn't even continue after break. And this is more of a notes pages of things that I needed to do, to download the digital dash, which I don't know if I did. Looks like I did. Change passwords, cancel certain things, what I wanted to get done, and I just wrote everything in such a quick way just to get rid of it. And what you can see here is this layout was the worst. I just scribbled in the dates. It was really rushed down. I put my Crayola super tips just, and I hated it. And so many spelling mistakes as well. Stuck some stickers at the bottom hoping it will help, and it did not, because I did not like this. But what I did have in here, this is another drawing my daughter gave me, was my inbox, which I used to have in all of my other planners, especially my ring planners. Things that needed to be done, and then when it gets tagged off and what day of the week. I didn't end up keeping these, but I did notice I'm most productive on Fridays, so that was helpful, at least when it comes to the inbox. And I got so many things crossed off that week from here. Some things have still rolled down on my inbox, and you will see. Some of them I'm really bad at just because I'm scared to do them. So that was May, and now we're into June, which is all about olives. And I absolutely love the look of olives. They're absolutely beautiful. And I have this clip art, which is going to go into my shop as well. And this, I wrote here, love is holding out the olive branch to match with my olive theme of the month, excuse me. And I used tons of stamping in here, which is actually from this ink pad. But I'm going to see if maybe I can find something a bit more permanent, because this does smudge a little bit, but I can get over that. So yeah, the stickers will be in under the deco kits. And then over here we've got my mood tracker, which was a very good month. And some days you can see it's like, what's that? Mad, angry, mad, angry, mad, angry. But mostly it's full green. And this is just something I drew myself with a little bit of smudging. Ugh. And then we've got my habit tracker, which was a bit easier to do with my period. Don't look at that. And that is just done with a different type of stamper. But this is definitely something I preferred to do. And then we've got my monthly. And this was, as you can see, there's a bit of crossing of the lines here, but I've got it with the ruler, which I definitely preferred, with some miscellaneous notes and a bit more stickers just to incorporate the theme. Then we have my kids' habits and their chores. And it's done pretty well for a few things, but they could have been better. And this was my sleep tracker. It was just to see if going to bed made a difference. Going to bed later made a difference to when I woke up, and not so much. I think it really had to do with more how I was feeling. And funnily enough, there wasn't a lot of days where I had a lot of woke up in the middle of the night. Actually, I don't think there's any. No, there's none. Look at that. And what that is like if I wake up in the middle of the night and how long I was awake for. I was going to do a bit of a line or something, but I never needed it. And I found, because I was going to bed late, it was helpful, except for the days where I think this is the earliest I went to sleep, twice at 10 p.m. excuse me. So there's that. I've got my caffeine tracker. And of course it makes sense that most of the time I drank, it was between 5 and 6 with smattering throughout the day. I also have my finance trackers. And throughout this month, I've basically paid off everything. The only thing I have left over is some PayPal credit. And actually, I should fill in a little bit more of that because I've just paid a bit more. As you can see, green was for this month. And then I came back in. Sorry, green was for June. Oh my gosh. And pink was for July. I need to fill a bit more in, but everything has been paid off, so that's fantastic. Except for PayPal, and there's only a little bit left over for that. And then I've got some brain dumps. Oops, excuse me. I keep hitting this, and I don't mean to. And then I've got some brain dumps, and you can see actually throughout. I've mentioned before the different pens that were used. Right here is when I realized I prefer using my Muji ballpoint retractable pen in black. You can see that here, whereas over here I've scribbled with a gel pen, and that would it just smudges. It's too much for me, or I have to wait forever for my fine tip to dry, or whatever it was. I just prefer the ballpoint. And these are things that I still need to do, so I need to come back to that. And then Father's Day ideas. And then here we've got a completely different layout, which I use throughout the month. So this is starting from June the 3rd, obviously. And I've got my main with my to-do and a little bit of drawing with some stickers. Then I've got my inbox right here. As you can see, it follows a similar format as the week previously with my to-do and my weekly, which it seems that Wednesday was my most productive day, with habits. And that was me going into my major habits tracker right here to see, make sure I've done that. And my water consumption. And you can see some days are really bad. And then that's what that looks like. I've got notes and miscellaneous on the back. With some, with Saturday and Sunday still split in half. And while I did that for the remainder of the month, I did not actually like this, because when this is close, you only see really one day. So that does get changed. And yeah, here, same thing. It just goes through the entire month. It was a very busy month for me. I didn't drink enough water, that's for sure. And my son got an award, and I've written them down. That's why it's got his name on there, because I plan on putting that in my scrapbook. And then here we go, and you can see this week was not as productive. I drew them a lot smaller than the week previously, as the couple weeks previous. Made a lot smaller so I have a bit more room, but I didn't end up using it too much this month. And I was not as productive this week at all. Habits were no good. I end up going back at the end of the week, filling it out, and I did not drink. Literally, I do not drink any water these days. I probably had a couple of teas, and that's it. Didn't even make use of my notes and miscellaneous. And I pretty much ignored it on Saturday and Sunday. And here was just information for the upcoming week, which I've stuck it on because I will still need those. But over here, it's what I want my July to look at, how many pages I needed, and what order they would appear in. And that was helpful because, bam, this is the month we are in. I did a little bit of scribbling, and I ended up covering a little bit. This is my boba because I love boba. I'm always drinking bubble tea. I'm always thinking about bubble tea. And which is why I've written, give me boba tea and nobody gets hurt, with a drawing that I've done. Or rather, I should say doodle, which is what these are here. And then this month. So this is what this month looks like so far. A little bit here. My drawings, my doodles actually start to look a lot better near the end of where we currently are. As you know, it's just mid-July now, but I actually really liked this way it's turning out. This one had some more rulers with a little bit of dots for the days, and I actually really enjoyed that a lot. Still got my kids' trackers. And I've free-handed the lines, and I still hate that. So, even though I think I've used a ruler for something similar, it does start to smudge a little bit. I need to find a better way of doing that. But yeah, it's looking good so far. And then of course, period tracker, which I'm going to combine them all to one page in the back with my habit trackers, which I actually really like. And this is my mood tracker here. I'm just coloring the boba. It's been really good. Mostly happy, a little bit tired. I've not been mad so far, which is great, or sad. So fingers crossed it stays that way. And this is my line of day. I need to write down yesterday's, which is fun. I've been enjoying that. And that's just a random brain dump with some information. And here I was testing a pen, blue Papermate against the black. And I don't know if I like it. That's why this part's written twice, to see the difference between them. You can see a bit of a difference. One is thicker, and it looks like Papermate smudges a little bit. So I might go to Muji and buy blue one to see how that pairs with that instead. And just got a wee bit of decoration on here, not so much. And you'll see it's a little bit different for the first. And then we've got this layout here, and this folds out so that these days actually have a full page essentially. But I mean, this bit of scribbles at the top, little doodles. But they go from, I've got my hours from 9 to 6, which are my time that really pump things out. Because starting from this day, I am no longer working. I work from home, but not with the company I was with, and that's on the QT. I'm not explaining any more than that, but that's that. So I've got this, everything's my own hours now. And then I've got, you can see I've got to-dos. And at the bottom here, I have some main things that are happening which don't necessarily fit in my hours. When I fold that in, as I said before, you get my inbox with some random notes. And then we fold it out, and then I've got full Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is really when I realized this is what I required. Because in the next month, even this part here is slightly changes, and then that's what that looks like. And this is where I really liked it. We've got very minimal actual design going on, but I still have my hours which are filled up, and then I've got my main things that are happening that don't necessarily fit in the group, my to-do, if I needed a to-buy, and I've still got my menu planner at the bottom here. Now the inbox has also changed from the week prior. I've got the inbox right here, things that need to be done. Miscellaneous, which I haven't necessarily used before, which is just a different name for notes. And then I've got my week here, and the actual week, the month here, and the actual week is highlighted. And I really like this here because it just lets me know I'm in the second week. And again, oops, this is popped right off. You've got the full Saturday, Sunday, and the Friday. Oh, sorry about that. And to-do's not yet full up. But I've got, appointments, things that need to be done, and to-do's, which I tend to come back to every day, and I fill up when needed. And I've really been enjoying them. And then I've got my beautiful stickers. And these ones are from ToffeeBananas, which will be linked down below. And that's what that looks like. And I'm really enjoying this layout. So I'll definitely be continuing it on for the rest of the month, which I still haven't worked on yet, but is on the to-do list. And just like previously, this folds in, and then I can see my inbox, which I really, really like. I think that's all we have in this one so far. Oh, nope. I've got my grid spacing cheat sheet, which I've not come to yet, but I've only just done, funnily enough. But I like it. It's colorful. Definitely lets me know what it is. So I've got Funnily enough, I've got numbers for the boxes and I have numbers of the dots because I do work between boxes and dots. So that was very helpful. And yeah, that's what that looks like. And I'll just pop out these, which were covering up my kids' names. I'm still very secretive about that, as you know. And yeah, that's what that looks like there. And I'm just gonna cover that up with the elastic. And that's everything. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And what I'll be doing is hopefully once a month I'll just be going through it if I can tape it. If you liked it, I can also work on the actual design with you to show you how I've come along and what I'm coming to. And then of course I will still do the weekly kits, and hopefully I'll have one coming next week if I have time to do it today. That'll go up beginning of the week, or it'll be at the end of the week. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you could give me a thumbs up or leave a comment of what you want to see me do most. If you'd rather I'd go back to sticker kits with scrapbooking, or if you want me to do more of my bullet journals, that would be really fun. If you want to see more, do hit subscribe button because that would be great. I'll have more time to do these videos, which I'm very grateful for. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.